This is what about to get interesting. You let me know if this is true. One of your baby mamas tried to scam you.
Jesus.
Now, correct me. I mean, I'm gonna go. You stop me. Okay. There was a child.
Right. The child is here.
Yeah, child's here. You were led to believe it was yours.
Well, yes. It's so interesting because I got to figure out how. I've told the story before, right? And it might be the only time I could tell it. But I'm
gonna let you tell it. I was gonna set it up, but I'm gonna let you tell it.
It's because it's been told before. But this is what I'll say. And this is how you clear this up. And this is the grown shit. We have a beautiful son together named Harlem Howery. He's amazing. He's autistic, you know, and we may not have the perfect relationship.
Right.
We don't, because it was a lot of shit she put me through. She really did. But at the same time, we got this beautiful baby here, and that's all the focus is on.
Right.
You know, look, and don't get me wrong. Believe me, it was, you know, it was like Wendy Williams and it was all the teams. It was a lot of shit. But at the same time, this the grown shit. Like, you know, he's here, and it's not you know.
She was married at the time?
Nah.
She wasn't married.
Well, she was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was married at the time.
But look.
Real.
Look, no, for real.
You deserve everything you got messing with a married woman.
I didn't know she was married.
She didn't tell you?
She said they was divorced at the time. But I'm not, let me say this again. I can't, and we talking about black people, because black people divorce different.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
I left the house yesterday, so I'm divorced. Okay.
He left the house 3 years ago.
Exactly.
You know how that shit go. They don't do the paperwork. Nobody want to pay the money, the fees.
Right.
They didn't have a whole relationship.
Right.
And so, like, I'll say, you know, once again, you know, we don't have the perfect relationship at all. And I didn't like any of that shit that she did, and nobody deserves any of that.
Right.
And, you know, but at the same time, I don't hate her for it. I'm not mad at her for it. I moved on from it. And at this point, it's just, for me, I think the focus should just be making sure we raise this little man to be the best human being he possibly be. That's all I care about. So like, it's old news. So it's like,
Was it tough?
Yeah, I mean, anything's tough when you're. Well, first of all, it's tough being a long distance dad.
Right.
You know, that's what made this whole situation very unique, and you know what it was. And I knew that from the beginning, and I tried to explain that to her, but at that time she just really wasn't. She wouldn't listen.
Right.
But man, when you, because I get all the kids for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love those summers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I'm, you know, playing with them and talking with them and laughing with them and seeing how, you know, this is what I love about Brittany and Judah, who's my oldest two, you know, because it was a lot for them.
Right.
You know, the day I told them that they had a little brother, possibly. I remember Brittany was young. Brittany was like, she looked sick. She was like, oh, God, what the hell did you do, basically?
Right.
You know what I mean? But when I tell you, you know, the first time I brought Harlem home, and I had all them with me for like, I think one of those holidays, they stayed up with me the whole night because he was, you know, he was up. He was a baby, crying. Brittany wouldn't put him down. Still don't. They like this. And I had to have a real conversation with Brittany and Judah, the oldest two. It was like, I said, let me tell y'all something. I got y'all back forever. I don't, like, everybody else made me feel how they made me feel. You two have had my back. I got you forever. Mm. But also, you understanding that, Daddy, I'm not a perfect human being, and you not gonna be. So if anybody ain't gonna judge you, you can tell me anything.
Right.
Promise you I won't judge
you. Do your kids understand what you do, the sacrifices that you make, and that you might not be there for every event, but it's for the betterment of them?
They are like, so it's so interesting you say. So Brittany and Judah understands that, along with my ex-wife, right? Okay. And we co-parent with her. And you have to know who you with. I'm not going to be able to be there for a lot of the things.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And with Harlem, you know, his mom, sometimes it feels like like you do know who I am, right? Like what my life is and what my
Right.
job is, and
And you knew that when you met me.
Yeah, and so like, what do you? I mean, one random day she hit me up like, "Could you come get him, nigga? I'm in L.A. You in Chicago? What the
That's not possible.
I'm gonna just get my private. I don't have a private. Even if I had one, that's still crazy to.
Right.
And so, you know, but that's an adjustment too, and that's why like co-parenting is very important. And sometimes it take a while, but I don't know, man. I like my ex-wife. Me and her have figured it out in a way where I think I'm confident that, you know, with Harlem, it'll get smoother at some point. But you know, it's not always smooth, and you know, you're never doing enough.
Right. Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right,
I'm gonna get you out here on this one. How are the kids with the fiance?
man. The kids get along well, you know, 'cause she has 4 daughters.
Okay.
Like that's been the most coolest thing actually. It's like the way they all hit it off.
Okay.
It's kind of like they all hit it off. We are a family core.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Harlem's is the baby
Right.
6. When I tell you everybody participates when they're around, everybody does.
Right.
And you know, even with like, so I remember this is how we did it, right? So I met her 2 oldest first. You know, they in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? So I met them first. You know, talk to them and let them know I really care about their mom. Blah blah blah. And then the youngest kids, because they all almost the same age group, is mine. You know, Brittany and Judah's 14 and 13. Her youngest are 13 and 12.
Right.
So it's all the same group.
Right.
The cutest thing, we take them to catch. This is our little spot we like to do. And they're all nervous about meeting each other. They're all like literally nervous about meeting each other. And then I forgot what broke the ice. And then they all just started laughing. And then next thing you know, it was just, you know, especially for Brittany, because Brittany's around all guys.
Right.
You know, so for her to have like a group of girls.
Girls, right.
Was like, it made her happy. So like, it's been beautiful, man, to be quite honest with you. When I shot Vacation Friends 2, you know, everybody was in Hawaii, which was really fun and interesting because my ex-wife was there and I wanted them to talk.
Right.
You know, I remember, I'll never forget that I was eating breakfast. They're like, yeah, we finna go to the beach. I'm like, oh shit, they about to talk. You know,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Right.
You know, and that's a part of having a blended family. Danella is, she's a woman that I never thought I'd meet. Just powerful, smart, outspoken. She's an author. She's so dope. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like her mom passed back in September, and I'm so glad I got a chance to meet Miss Sandy. And you know, I went to Mississippi. She's from Mississippi, Terry, Mississippi, and went down there. And she got one of them black pops, man. But I like for us, me and old black men get along. We the same,
Right.
You know what I mean? That's my whole everybody.
Right.
And and I remember just talking with, like, we just met. He took me for a ride. I rode with him. We just talking, laughing. And she was nervous. She was so nervous. Like, oh, did he? I'm like, babe, first of all, idiot, older black man. I'm telling you, I'm fine.
Right.
I love it. I tell people, go watch the special. Just watch the end of it. Watch me. That is me in that moment, looking in that audience, watching Chicago stand up for me in the Chicago theater. Seeing my mama there, seeing Bernie there, and just seeing myself like I really did this shit. Wow.
How were you able to find someone in the business? And then you said your ideal date, a 5-star restaurant and a strip club. Boy, you couldn't get more of a contrast.
I mean, that used to be my ideal date.
So what's the ideal date now?
That's gonna sound grown as hell. Dinner and a nap. What? Dinner and a nap.
Yeah, well, what happened after dinner to call you to take that nap?
The food. We old. We be like, you know something? And it's funny. You're right. It is tough to find love out here. Yvonne just reminded me. Who was out at the screening the other day. And she saw me with my fiance. She's like, you remember you was, cause I was one day I was irritated. I'm like, you know something? I'm just in these fucking streets, right? I was just like pissed and we was all hanging out. They're like, you remember that day you was yelling like you done? You ain't gonna find nobody out here in LA and Hollywood. Now you just gonna be in the streets. And then Danella came out of nowhere. And it's like, well, not out of nowhere, but she, changed my life.
You were married before.
Yeah, this would be my second time around the sun.
Did you think you'd get remarried again?
I wanted to, but at some point it started feeling like I wasn't gonna meet cause especially when
you do what you do.
do what I do, and then I stopped seeing if anybody really liked me for me type of thing, and just, you know, everybody's intentions is all weird. So I don't know, man. So I was like, I guess I'm in the streets.
Right. But you proposed, you proposed at the Beyonce concert?
Proposed at the Beyonce concert. Yeah, that was.
Do you ever get, because we see this all the time, people proposing at sporting events and all these events. Do you get nervous? You're like, nah, I'm good.
Fam, I was so nervous. And I'm never nervous. Which is what, you know what made me nervous is my son. My son is my oldest son. He an asshole. He's like, yo, Dad, what if she says no? I said, why the hell would you put that in my head?
Yeah, exactly. See? You thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Were you more nervous to propose or more nervous during a scene?
It was, you know what the nervousness was? It was, I don't know if it was nervous of her no.
Right.
It's nervous of how life-changing this is. And it was more or less like the butterflies of like, God, thank you for letting me find her. I didn't think I would do this again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I have an opportunity to do this again.
Right.
Or not even just again. It's even deeper than that, because once again, I've been married before, but it's like, I didn't know I would meet my true, like somebody who feels like a real full-blown soulmate.
Right.
And that's, you know, and I mean, the way we met is a sweet thing. She's dope, man.
Yeah. I read what you do with your kids is that you give them credits. You put them in your stand-up. You make sure they get production. They get credits on your, what made you, how did you decide how did that come about?
Nas.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.